Okay, so as promised, this is the video where I tell you what questions to ask at the end of an interview. So at the end of the interview, once you get all the questions, whether you're on a panel, whether you're interviewing with a panel or you're interviewing with one person, they're going to ask you at the end, do you have any questions for me? That is the time where you really sell yourself. Do you understand? You'll be like, I don't understand. What do you mean really sell myself? It's a question. The questions you ask determine if you understood the assignment. Because if you are, and remember, I'm only talking right now, I'm only talking to executive assistants. I don't interview for anything else. I only interview for that, right? If you are an executive assistant and you are interviewing for that position for one person, one of the first questions you need to ask is, tell me about the person you're interviewing, the person you're interviewing for. Say you're interviewing for my assistant. Okay, can you tell me about Miss Grant? Yeah, that should be the first question you ask, because you're going to someone's home and and the second round is with that person. So if you can get that information there, you don't have you halfway there, because you have to interview with that's you have a second interview. This is only the first interview. If you can't get past the first interview, you're definitely not going to get a second one. Do you understand? So it's like you have to know and ask about that person. That's the first question you should ask. Who is this person? How is it working with her? What do, or him, what do they like? What do you have an idea of, like, what kind of assistant they're looking for and that they need? That's another question. You're asking questions that pertain to the job or the position. You don't ask questions about your benefits. You don't ask questions about what you're going to get. Does that make sense? Too many people botch interviews by when they ask that question, it's a gimme spirit. It's not a I want to work here for you. The jobs that I've had to interview for, I rock those interviews because I told them what I could do for them. I can do this, and I can take you here, and I can do this, and this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking to make sure that I do a great job and everyone is, where, because I was applying for an office manager position. That's the one I have in my head. I was applying for an office manager position. To be an office manager, you have to know how to take care of things and maintain things and take care of people. So those are the questions that you need to ask. How many people are in the suite? You know, what's a typical day in the office? What's a typical day for this person? How busy is this person? You understand? Granted, don't take up like a whole hour with all these questions. I'm giving you a bunch of questions, which you should be writing down in your notebook. You understand? I'm giving you a bunch of questions to ask. Don't ask all of them. Pick real muscle tests. I heard you. Good. Good for you. Good. Muscle tests to see which questions you should ask. Does that make sense? Muscle test to see which questions you should ask and take those questions. Don't take all of these. All of these will make us go, what is happening right now? You understand? Unless, because I've had that happen in an interview where she interviewed us, and it was pleasant. It was pleasant to have someone take interest the in the position, because she questioned us what the typical day was, what was the atmosphere, like what is the atmosphere culture in our office, all that stuff. We lost her. We lost her, but I digress. But yeah, so when you sit down and they ask you that question, you should already have these questions written down. It impresses us more when you have stuff written down and you are prepared. You are supposed to be someone's right hand. If you don't come in organized, you're not going to get the position, because when you come in disorganized, we're looking at you. You understand? And interview doesn't start when the first question is asked. It starts the minute you walk through that door and we look at you. You understand? Not because of the way you color, skin, hair, none of that stuff. It's body language. That's what people don't understand is body language and energy. If your body language, you could be dressed gorgeous. You could be dressed like you are a CEO. You could be dressed perfectly for the position, and your whole energy makeup and the way you talk and the way you move makes everybody in the room uncomfortable. And if everyone in the room is uncomfortable, you will not get that position. You won't. We're not blind. We're not blind, and we feel stuff. You can feel when a person is a good fit for the person you're hiring for, and when that's not. Because in my head, when I'm listening to them and when I'm looking at them, I'm not looking at them through my eyes. I'm looking at them through the eyes of the person that I'm hiring for. And if I know, that's not gonna work for her. You understand? No, she's not. It's gonna make her uncomfortable. I can't allow that person to move forward, without a fight. I can't allow that person to move forward because my executive is gonna be unhappy. And for me, one of the main important things for me is my executive needs to be happy. They need to be happy with my choice because then they're going to trust me to make more choices for them. If not, they ain't going to make me make no choices, and then I don't get the experience that I need to hire people. It's a win-win. All right. So those were a couple of questions that you can ask at the end of the interview. Put in the comments more if you can think of stuff, or if you know stuff. Well, what is your go-to, because everybody has one. What is your go-to question when you are wrapping up an interview? What is your go-to question? My go-to question is the culture. What is the person, how is the person like? What is the culture of the place where I'm applying for? Because you want to hear it. And the thing is, if you're paying attention, you can see it on their face. Like if you're hiring for someone who's a jerk, you can see it on their face. I remember that being a person who used to interview. I could tell by the assistant who greeted me at the door how happy the whole place was. Because if she wasn't or he wasn't happy, it's not a good place to work. But anyway, those are a couple of tips. Stay blessed. Deuces, and we